need.
The Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a moment of silence, please. Roll call, Corinne?
Counselor Chamberlain?
Here.
Counselor Heising?
Here.
Counselor Simon?
Here.
Counselor Tiarena?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Here.
Council President Stiltner?
Here.
We have 5 members present, or 6 members present in the quorum.
Okay, thank you. Council has had time to review the prior meeting's minutes. Can we get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Council President Stickley and seconded by Councilor Heising. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to committee reports, and we're going to start with safety and code.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. We had a great meeting. We talked about zoning fees, food trucks, parade permit, utility vehicles, fire department vacation. So we'll go ahead and start with zoning fees. Code enforcer Danny Markley submitted a proposal for updating the residential permit fee structure. It was really well thought out. He is such a detail-oriented man. It's amazing. And it's not been changed since 1992. So a lot of people haven't been born yet, you know. But I was born, so that's nice. After review, the committee agreed that an update is necessary and supports the proposed adjustments moving forward. And was that these here? So we pulled up, was it these ones or is this the Wood County, which is also part of this, right?
Yeah.
On this sheet. Yeah, so Wauseon and Wood County. So we had been using Wood County for a lot of different things, but we're going to bring that in-house to the city now that we have Danny, and Danny has taken all the tests and is able to do that. So we recommended to amend section 1301.10A to allow the fee structure to be approved by council, and that was moved by me and seconded by Councilor Schneider. 3 yeas, 0 nays. So that I think will be on the agenda for tonight. And then we also made another recommendation to approve the proposed residential permit fee structure to be implemented when that's the Wood County contract is in place. And that was moved by Tiarena and seconded by Councilor Simon, 3-0. So that motion carried. And with the food trucks, Tom McWaters and the committee clarified the discussion regarding food trucks that occurred at the previous Safety and Code meeting on December 16th, 2024. Tom McWaters was absent during that time, so we had to get some clarification on that, which is fine. You just can't ever leave again. It's not a big deal. The committee is requesting 2 different permits regarding food trucks, one being a permit for 7 consecutive days and one being a seasonal permit for 7 days within a calendar year. So that's meaning like if somebody says, hey, I want to bring the food truck here on Wednesday the 5th and then Thursday the 14th, so they could do that and not have to buy a permit every single time. And it will also allow our fire chief and his crew to be able to inspect the food truck when they come back, which is very important. So the food truck owners will need to include the dates and locations of where they're going to be at for the fire department. And so we do not have a recommendation for that yet, but I think that'll be coming soon. Is that correct? Or did we, once it's revised?
I believe I sent you guys, or I sent to Corinne, I think she must have forwarded the revisions to that, along with something else that I was asked to change.
Okay.
Utility, the slow-moving vehicles thing, which you're going to get to.
Yep. Very cool. So that'll happen the next Safety and Code meeting. And then the parade permit, we did have a recommendation on this. The committee has had time to review the changes made to section 311.02. We made a recommendation to approve the amendments made to section 311.02, moved by Councilor Simon and seconded by Councilor Schneider. That was 3-0 as well. The utility vehicles, There was discussion regarding amending Chapter 337. The committee is proposing that if residents bring their vehicles in for an inspection before March 1st, the fee will be $10. If they bring it in after that, the fee will be the original amount of $50. Tom McWaters will make the proper revision. So that's what you're saying you've already sent our way. So we'll have just schedule that to make sure that we get it done. And fire department vacation, Chief Kessler explained that in 2022 there was an update to the vacation day policy for full-time employees. He told the committee that the current exhibit in the code is not correct for employees working 54 hours a week. Chief Kessler presented a corrected version to the committee, and we made a recommendation to approve the corrected vacation day policy, and that was moved by Councilor Simon and seconded by Councilor Tiarena. That was 3-0 as well. So, there will be no further business, and we adjourned.
I appreciate seeing what he laid out with the current fee structure versus what it will be, and I see that it will be a savings to the residents, which I was hoping for and appreciate. I was on the actual proposed fee schedule in the 1301.10A. I was hoping to see like what we were going from to what this is currently proposed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
So I think a lot of these things were what was up here, what Wood County was doing.
well, I mean,
correct.
this is in action, so I
Right.
appreciate seeing how this is in action because it's a lot easier to see, but this doesn't really necessarily tell me.
Show the change.
Right, what
Yeah.
the fees were versus what they're going to be as far as like all of these detailed items.
So,
Like, I get that this is an example, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
so to clarify, maybe Sarah, 1301.10A will be essentially just provide the council will approve the inspection fees for the, not for residential inspection. There won't be any set fees in the code anymore. So this so these first two recommendations go hand in hand. One is we're gonna change it, consistent with what I think you guys have been doing generally from time to time, taking out of the code specific rates and everything, so we don't have to change the code every time a rate changes. So the idea would be that 1301.10A would now say that the rates would be set, approved by council. And then the second recommendation is actually getting those rates before you to be approved.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yep.
So this is not the proposed rate.
No,
It's
it
gotta
is.
change.
'Cause this.
Okay, but this says it was, at the bottom, it says it was passed in '08.
So that will no longer, the new rates are the, I
I
think.
thought this is what you were changing it to, so I
Oh,
understand that now.
okay.
I wanted to see where we, you know, if this is where we're going, where were we?
Right.
Basically. But now I understand, so that we don't have to revisit and have a new ordinance for one fee change, if he should on a yearly basis say, you know what, this fee is not appropriate.
Correct.
Then it won't be such a hoopla and need legal, you know, help and all of those things that go into that. So I appreciate that, I'm understanding that now.
So if we look at the 2008 fee structure under 1301, for instance, zoning inspection back in 2008 was $30 per inspection. Do we know what Danny's recommending that be changed to, or remain the same, or
Is it 75?
I think it's 75.
75?
Yeah, that's the base fee.
Gotcha.
And currently, people are paying 20 cents per square foot of, and so we're taking, so if they are doing an inspection of the whole house, and we are saying the foundation's included in that, or the basement, and so instead of 20 cents, he lowered that to 15 cents to keep it in-house.
So instead of such a like menu of items that are added up, we're going per square foot.
I think Danny also explained that the state regulates how you have to, what you have to inspect, and certain manners now, where back then it was just a fee. So I think this is why it's this way, like hit the foundation only. I remember he said,
Yeah.
we have to have that in there, because some people just like maybe want to put a foundation, egress or something, and that's why they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's, yeah, you're right, Sarah. It's no longer
Okay.
gonna
I
be all
just
these
wanted to
line item
understand, I
things.
get
It's
it.
gonna just kind of be
A
this.
base.
A base fee, and then,
Gotcha. Then per square foot.
yep.
Well, I mean, it appears that it will save residents money, and he's put a lot of time into his testing and all of those things and does a great job, so I like to see that.
And he did go around and compare to other villages and cities as well that have their own zoning. He did say that and tried to be fair.
Yeah.
It definitely benefits the residents to have somebody in-house, so that's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we'll have everything in-house except for commercial. Is that what Dan?
And industrial.
And industrial.
And industrial.
Gotcha.
Well,
And
Dan-
electrical.
Danny is not yet licensed in electrical and plumbing, and so I think one of those he will be in June. I can't remember which one, but the other one he won't be, and so we will still be relying on help from Wood County to take care of those inspections. But the agreement that you have in front of you for tonight's read, the Wood County agreement, is kind of like it's a mutual aid agreement, basically saying that they'll help us when we need it and we'll help them when they need it. So, and that would include the plumbing and electric.
Yeah, and it seems like Danny's really eager to get a lot of those testings done, so we can just kind of keep everything in-house, which would be
And
very
the
nice.
state is actually changing some of the rulings that it might even be easier for him to be able to kind of get this licensing.
Oh, nice.
He's just working with them. They haven't even gotten that completed yet.
And I've been around long enough that we had it in-house, it went out of house, now it's coming back in-house, Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think the big benefit to the community is that now they don't have to mess around
Yes.
with Wood County stuff. They can just come up here and,
One local person to
yeah.
go to.
Yeah.
Guys ready to take these then? Okay. So the safety and code has a recommendation that section 1301.10A of the codified ordinance be amended to provide the building inspection fees shall be approved by council.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Recommendation that section 1301.10A of the codified ordinances be amended to provide that building inspection fees shall be approved by council. Moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Simon. Any discussion? Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Stigley?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, the next recommendation is the recommendation that the residential permit fee structure prepared by Building Inspector Markley be approved effective on the effective date of the new contract with Wood County.
Which is when?
So it will be effective as soon as, probably the last event that will need to take place is the Wood County Commissioners will sign it. And I think their attorney is expecting that will happen within the next week or so.
Okay,
So it'd be pretty short time. I just can't say when they'll get to it.
okay.
But we're gonna try to expedite and get everybody to sign it. Harold, make sure you stick around so you can sign it.
Do we have to put these on emergency then, so we're signing?
It says that, section 3, that it can be declared to be an emergency measure.
Yeah, yep, should be, yeah.
So would we have to do an emergency on the first one we just voted on?
No,
Just
no,
the
I'm
second?
talking about the,
Contract.
Just the contract?
Legislation.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will make a motion on that.
I'll second the idea. Go ahead, Harold. I'll get the next one.
Sorry.
Recommendation that the residential permit fee structure prepared by Building Inspector Markley be approved effective on the effective date of the new contract with Wood County. Moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Council President Stigley. Any discussion? Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Council President Stigley?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Next, we have the recommendation that the changes to section 311.02 of the codified ordinances, which is the parade permits, be approved.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Recommendation that the changes to section or section 31102 of the codified ordinances be approved. Moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Chamberlain. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Council President Stickley?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, and the last thing under safety and code is a recommendation that the local government handbook be revised to include the correct vacation day policy.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Recommendation that a local government handbook be revised to include the corrected vacation day policy. Moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Schneider.
One question. What are we revising it from for 54? What do we have?
The chart was incorrect. It was in the book. That's what we're, I don't, what-
So we
I'm
have
just correcting a mistake that was made in the book prior.
a vacation time for
Yeah.
the people?
Yeah.
Because we didn't take into account the fire department math on the vacation stuff, is that?
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm
Okay.
not sure if the cart got ahead of the horse or what, but it was at the same time, we adjusted it for all full-time employees in the city and the bargaining unit. But the long and short of it is, it's just a reallocation of the existing hours so that it's all streamlined. So, I don't have it in front of me. or
That's okay.
didn't
I just
simply-
asked.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, they get more vacation time because they're 50-some, or it's the same, they just didn't, it wasn't in the
The
handbook?
equation is right, but it showed like 54 and 54 where it should have been 48 and 48.
Okay.
So, and most of that chart, it's less, and a couple of spots down below it increase, but you're taking from the top to the bottom and shifting the hours around.
Okay, I just didn't, I
Yep,
wondered what it was.
no worries.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Council President Stickley?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have tree commission. Oh, did you forget?
We met on the 7th. There really wasn't, I mean, there was a few things they talked about. The Tree City application's in being reviewed by the regional commission coordinator, Arbor Day Foundation coordinator. Then we kind of discussed the recommendation to amend section 7.0782, which is finding somebody outside the city. They're talking about, they're making a quorum of 1 out of the 3 residents outside the city, but within 3 miles of the limits. And two out of 3 of them be in the city. At this point, it's still being reviewed. Mr. McWater, so. And then the last thing they were talking about is putting all the trees in a mapping system, so we know pretty much when they were planted, where they're at, and what we have.
Did the city take down those trees? That street on Otaki? There was like 2 or 3 trees that were laying by the curb. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing that right now, is taking down some of the dead trees that were on the list.
Nice. Cool.
Other than that, we're just waiting, so.
Okay, so there's no recommendations, right?
Not at this time.
All right, thank you. Department head reports. Bill, you got any?
We're just anticipating the cold weather, so they've done some preventative maintenance on the apparatus downstairs and just asking that everybody make sure that they have working smoke detectors and CO detectors as we go into this cold spell.
Were schools canceled tomorrow?
Yep.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
Ohio State football game
I
tonight.
know. I think Brutus had a little something to do with it. All right, any questions for Chief? Keith?
Not much. We're meeting with the contractor on Wednesday for the hybrid beacon to go over the updates on that. Crews are out taking down trees, fixing disruptions to our water service as they occur. And just trying to keep the equipment up and running because like the chief said, this cold weather is hard on the equipment as well as the manpower out there, so just be careful and take your time, and that's all we can ask.
I didn't bring the list in, but I do know there's some more needs centers the county has put out today on their webpage. For places, one of them was the senior center, and I can't remember some of the other ones, but it is online under the county's webpage. If anyone needs that.
Refuse pickup change, I see. Refuse pickup.
I talked to Michelle on Friday. Due to the weather, they were down Monday. I have not heard if they're going to be resuming on Tuesday. I'm assuming probably not. If the landfill closes, they have no place to take it, so they have to suspend service until that's opened back up.
And we have 2 or 3 more years on that contract. Remember when we did that?
Yes, I do. I
Was
don't
it-
know what the ending date was.
I can't remember.
Was
I
it
think it's
last year?
another 3 years, 3 or 4.
Okay.
I believe it was a 5-year contract.
Yeah, it was 5 year.
Last I heard, they're not picking up tomorrow, so is there a place I could like take my trash right now, Keith? I mean, is it,
You just gotta smell it, man. Let it,
Another
let
week?
it freeze.
Gosh darn
What-
it.
It's cold enough, it'll be fine.
We'll haul it over there.
Any other questions? All right, Tom?
Not really much else to report other than what we've talked about. Danny and I spent a fair amount of time working with Wood County on trying to get that contract put together, and finally, I think he's happy with it, I'm happy with it, it's pretty simple. And I think we're gonna be well situated in terms of the inspection stuff moving forward. He's put a lot of time into it and maintain a good relationship with Wood County,
Yeah.
so I think it's all good. I guess I would just note in passing that a pillar of the legal community passed away this Saturday, Dan McQuaid, from McQuaid's in Swanton, and they've been around for a long time. There's been an institution over in Swanton, and yeah, Dan's gonna be missed, so condolences to
Was
the,
it over 20 years?
To the family.
23 years, or 26 years? He's
Oh, I'm
served
sure.
Swanton.
I'm sure it's much
Was
longer
it
than that in
over
terms
there?
of
I can't remember.
an attorney. I think he was 82, so.
Wow.
And it wasn't long ago that I saw him in the court.
I was just gonna say, he was in there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in the courthouse, so he was working right up to the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked to Dan last week, and he said that, or Colin, and he said Dan was asking, he's down in Columbus, and that Dan was asking for some files that he needed to work on, so. He was a really dedicated lawyer, so we'll miss him.
Yeah.
Get to it.
All right. Well, let's move on. We have.
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't think Corinne had this yet. We had a WRA meeting last night.
Oh, okay.
Basically what there really wasn't a whole lot to deal with. They've been working on a travel soccer board. There was like 8 or 9 candidates there last night. They've been trying to get a board of 5. What they're finding is over the years, travel soccer kids have been going different areas to play, and what they're worried at this point, if it can use this way, it's gonna jeopardize the high school teams, not having enough players in there. So they're doing actually a really good job on bringing the people in. They're gonna start a board and try getting this up and going, get some different coaches
Would be nice.
to be up to the teams. So,
Yeah.
but other than that was about all that was there.
Harold, did you go to that meeting too? No?
No, I let the boss go. He knows more than I know.
I was just curious, no reason.
Okay. First reading. Thank you. On that. We have Resolution 2025-1 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a mutual aid agreement for inspection services with Wood County and declaring an emergency.
I will make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion to place resolution 2025-1 on emergency reading, moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Simon. Any discussion? Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Stigley?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place resolution 2025-1 on final reading, moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Schneider. Any discussion? Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Council President Stickley?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay. Nothing under second or third reading. Anything under new business? I have nothing, and I have nothing under old business, except for Go Bucks tonight. It's been a great day, Martin Luther King Day and Inauguration Day, and now we get to finalize it with the Buckeyes and that other team.
Where do you stand, Mayor, really?
Anyways, can I get a motion to pay those bills, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I almost wore my colors, Shane, so I refrained a little.
Motion to approve and pay the bills as presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Stickley. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, stay warm, council, we need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that.
I'll second.
Motion to adjourn, moved by Council President Stickley and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.